To fully understand the vision for Word Life Connection, I believe it's necessary to understand the circumstances that led to its creation in the first place. If you were to ask me, when was the seed planted for the starting of such an organization? Without a doubt, I would say on Sunday, October 31st, 1993. That was the Sunday before I got baptized. I was living in Houston, Texas at the time. I had just returned from church and was by myself. I was standing in front of the mirror, rehearsing my testimony that I would say the following week at church, just before being baptized. I began thinking about everything I had experienced in my life up to that point. I thought about the different twists and turns on the rocky road that led me to that life-changing moment where I would publicly declare my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. You see, despite being raised in a loving Christian family, I always felt like I never quite seemed to measure up to everyone else. My two brothers and my sister were bright, very bright, especially my older brother, the one right before me. My parents were both educators, my dad being a school principal and my mom a first grade teacher. She taught me in the first grade for both of the years that I was in the first grade. Yes, I repeated the first grade because from the outset, I was a slow learner. I began reflecting on the issues I had dealt with my entire life. Low self-esteem, stuttering, poor academic performance, feeling as if my life was a cruel joke meant to torment me while it entertained everyone else. I thought of being ridiculed and bullied in high school. I thought about the highs and the lows of my college experience at the University of Texas at Austin. Things were better for me socially there, but then scholastically, it was a challenge from day one. I thought about how just 3 years before, I got a D in managerial accounting, getting me one step closer to what seemed like an inevitable appointment to be on academic probation. Then I thought about my desperate cry to God, who I always knew about, but still always rejected. No way he could save someone like me, I thought. But as I thought about the embarrassment, about being kicked out of school because of my grades, and then going on to a life of nothingness, I cried out to him to save me and take over the reins of my life. Then I reflected on how instantaneously he saved me. He didn't judge me based on my shortcomings or the silly things I did throughout my life up to that point. He just took me as I was, and he saved me unconditionally. Then he gave my life true meaning and substance. Then little by little, I saw how scholastically everything turned around for me. Over time, I went from the verge of being on academic probation to being one of the top performers in a business school at the university. Then in October of 1992, 8 months before graduation, I was offered a job and accepted that job at one of the big 4 accounting firms, a dream for any accounting student. I reflected on all of this, and right there in front of the mirror, it's like the floodgates opened up. I wept uncontrollably for what seemed like an eternity, as I was just so overwhelmed by the love of God and the absolute miracle that he had performed in my life. I stood right there talking to him and said, I don't know why you saved me, but I know that you saved me. I hereby relinquish the right to plan my future. I know I don't have anything much to offer you, but God, I give you my life. It's all in your hands. Do with it what you will. That seemingly simple act on that Sunday afternoon in Houston, Texas, is what I believe gave God the license to set in motion the plan that He had designed from the foundation of the earth, the plan to form the organization we now know as Word Life Connection.